morning, students. Welcome to our biology classroom. So I hope that you are familiar with few terms that we have covered yesterday. Today we will do three concepts. The first one is very important. That is the concept of the body cavity or coelom. So today's objective is to classify animals on the basis of body cavity or coelom. The cavity, the space which is present inside the body of an organism is called as the body cavity or coelom. Now, on the basis of what type of coelom is there, we have classified the organisms into three categories. Number one is acoelomates, number two is pseudocoelomates, and number three is the coelomates. So, acoelomates, then pseudocoelomates and coelomates. So these are the three categories. Now, for understanding body cavity, we must recall that we have done three types of the germinal layers. The outer one ectoderm, the inner one endoderm, and in between them the mesoderm. So acoelomates are those organisms which are diploblastic. That means they have only two germinal layers, ectoderm and endoderm in them. So if we see the diagram or the cut section of their body, the outer layer is there, that is called as the ectoderm, and within the outer layer there is the endoderm. This is ectoderm and this is endoderm, and the third germinal layer is not present. Only two germinal layers are there, and the space in between them is filled with a tissue. A tissue completely occupies the space which is present in between the two germinal layers. So this type of arrangement leaves no space. The organs are fitted inside this. So the organs, they may be fitted inside these tissues. So there is no space. So such condition is called as a coelom. Coelom, that is body cavity, is absent. So body cavity is almost absent. It is filled with a special type of tissue, and that tissue gives the appearance of a plant-like tissue. So that tissue is called as parenchyma. So parenchyma is the name which is given to parenchymatous tissue, is the name given to these type of the tissue. And the best example of this is shown by platyhelminths, flatworms. They show this type of the arrangement. That is the acoelomates. So the main thing is there is the presence of only two germinal layers, and the space so called is absent. Why it is absent? Because it is filled with a special type of the tissue. The organs are fitted within this tissue itself. Acoelomates, example is platyhelminths or the flatworm. The second thing is the pseudocoelomates. Pseudo here means false. So this pseudocoelomates and coelomates, this arrangement is shown by the organisms which are triploblastic. That means three germinal layers are present in them. In the case of the pseudocoelomates, outer layer is there, that is the ectoderm. The inner layer is there, that is the endoderm, and in between that mesoderm is also present. Mesoderm is present, but it is present as scattered pouches. It is present as scattered pouch themselves. So mesoderm pieces are present within ectoderm and endoderm. So this space which is left is called as the pseudocoelom. Now why it is called as pseudo Coelom. Coelom is actually a space that should be bounded by the mesoderm on all the sides. But in this case, the mesoderm is scattered and the space is not properly bound by the mesodermal layer. The space is there, but it is not properly lined by the mesodermal layer. So that's why it is called, seems to be, but it is actually not the true space. So it is called as pseudocoelom, false coelom. I repeat the concept again. A true coelom is that which is bounded by, we will do in coelomates, that is bounded by mesoderm layer on all the sides. But in this case, the mesoderm is scattered and the space is not properly lined by the mesoderm. So such false body cavity is called as pseudocoelom. So false body cavity. This arrangement is shown by one group, that is Eschelminthes. Commonly, they are known as the roundworms. They show this type of arrangement. The last group is the most important one, that is the coelomates. In coelomates, there is the outer space, the outer layer, that is called as again ectoderm, followed by the inner layer, that is called as the endoderm, and in between them is present the mesodermal layer in a proper form. This is the mesodermal layer. It is present in a proper form, this manner, and it is completely lying a body cavity. So this space or the body cavity that is being lined by mesoderm on all the sides is actually called as the body cavity or true coelom. So true coelom should be bounded by this third germinal layer, that is called as mesoderm. So that is the important feature. This is the true coelom. Now, depending upon how this coelom is formed, we have divided the organisms into two categories. One is the schizo, S-C-H-I, schizocele mode of development, and the other is called as enterocele mode of development. In schizocele, the cavity is there, ectoderm, endoderm, and there appear two pouch of mesoderm around the ectoderm and endoderm, and then there occurs splitting of this piece of tissue, mesodermal piece of tissue. There occurs the splitting in between that, so that a space appears, and progressively this space enlarges and give rise to the true coelom. So this is how the true coelom is being formed, by splitting. This mode is shown by all the non-chordates from Annelida up to Mollusca. In Annelida, true coelom appears. So from Annelida to Mollusca, the coelom is formed by the splitting of the mesodermal patch. Second is enterocele. In this, ectoderm is there and endoderm is there, and from endoderm arise two pouches of mesoderm. Their origin is actually from the endoderm. These two empty pouches, they arise from the interior, that is the endoderm. That's why it is called as enterocele. Progressively they enlarge, they pinched off from the inner layer, enlarge, and the space appears. So such type of mode of development is called enterocele. Pouch appears from internal germinal layer and they take the form of the mesoderm. So the This is from pouches. Appearance is from pouches. From echinodermate, starfish plus all chordates. All chordates shows this type of mode of development. Schizocele, splitting of mesoderm. Enterocele, from internal, that is the endoderm, mesodermal pouch pinched off and give the form of the coelom. So this is the concept of the coelom in the case of the animals. First is acoelomates, cerocoelomates and coelomates. My dear students, we can understand this concept with the help of this small model also. Suppose this is ectoderm, that is the outer germinal layer. This is endoderm, that is the inner germinal layer. So the arrangement is like this. So in the case of acoelomates, outer ecto, inner endo, and the space is filled with the tissue. Organs are there, but the space is filled with the tissue, parenchymatous tissue, so the space does not appear. So such arrangement is called acoelomates or acoelom. In the case of the pseudocoelom, the two layers are there and in between them are the pouches, these patches of the mesoderm. So we have here drawn 4 patches. So these patches are there. So the space is there, but it is not properly lined by the mesoderm. So such space is seen to be false space. So the space is called as pseudocoelom. Whereas in the case of the coelomates, there is involvement, complete involvement of the mesoderm. This is mesoderm. So such type of arrangement is there, that these mesodermal things are there and outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and properly mesodermal tissue is lining the space. So the space inside the mesoderm is called as the true coelom. So we can see like this. So the space which is present, this is the space which is present around the endoderm and properly lined by the third germinal layer, mesoderm, is called as the coelom. So please understand the concept with the help of certain examples also to learn the examples that what mode of coelom development is there in a specific group. In the next part, we will do the last 2 journal terms related to the classification of animals.